Hi, Carol. What brings you in today?
A lot has been going on. Like, I'm just, overwhelmed and very anxious about my cat.
Tell me more about your cat. What's been keeping you overwhelmed and anxious?
Well, I don't know. I just I just don't feel right. I'm not in a good state of mind. My cat's in the hospital, and all the information that was processed in my head, and they were telling me, about giving CPR to him and all these other things. Like, I don't know what the doctors were trying to say in their form of the way they were speaking to me. I was very confused. And I feel like at this moment where it's like, when it rains, it pours. So I just feel like right now I'm like very anxious and I'm just stressed. And, I just need someone to talk to because I'm going crazy inside.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is um, this repetition of anxious,
Mm-hmm.
stressed, and it sounds like the doctors weren't speaking in terms, I know that doctors have a lot of terminology that we don't understand sometimes what's going on. And a lot of times when it's something overwhelming, it's harder for us to focus to what the doctors are saying. So you feel like the doctors weren't being clear and what they were telling you about your cat.
Right.
Is that
Right.
what's
Yes.
happening?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more, like what happened with your cat? Why did you take them to the vet?
Sorry, I have to burp.
That's okay.
No, well, I took him to the hospital because, I guess I left a band-aid on for too long. Again, I'm not blaming anybody, nobody, but, I feel like when things like this happen, I do tempt to, like, blame my dad, my mom, my brother, and I shouldn't be doing those things. And so, because of that band-aid that was left on for like, weeks, because of that, that's the reason why the doctors have to give CPR. And the doctors were just telling me that, if worst case to happen, they would have to, like, do those things. And I just didn't like the form that he was saying, like, if his heart stops. So basically, to me, it's like, what do you mean when his heart stops? Like, are you telling me he's gonna die? Like, I didn't understand that context.
Mm, okay. So you were assuming the worst at this
Exactly.
case. Let me ask you a question to be clear. You said you were blaming your mom and dad
Yes.
um, for your cat being in the hospital. Did it have, and you don't want to blame them, did they have anything to do with your cat being at the
No,
vet?
absolutely not.
Okay.
No,
Um, were they the ones that were with your cat at the vet?
no. Well, my mom was at work, and the thing with me, what happened is I was like, house sitting. I was babysitting for another cat, and so I couldn't come to his needs at that moment because I wasn't there. But the only persons that I felt safe that could come to his needs were my dad and my brother. So they were the ones that informed me
Right.
into his situation.
Oh, okay. So would you say that because you were not able to be there, that sort of your anger or feelings of, I'm not sure
Yes,
if you were angry. Let me
I
know if you were
was
feeling angry at that
angry
moment.
and a lot of emotions, very upset and
Okay,
everything.
so
Yes,
all those feelings of
yes,
anger and being upset, did you kind of reflect that onto your dad and your brother who were
exactly.
with your
Yes,
cat at the
yes.
vet?
And I didn't know what was going on. So at that time, I was just freaking out. And, I was panicking because I didn't know if my brother or my dad, they had tensions of maybe leaving him there or they didn't want him at the house. So I was just freaking out everything all at once.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And were you able to um, go see your cat at the vet, or tell me
Yes.
what happened afterwards?
Luckily, I had time to go and see what was going on. So luckily, the lady wasn't gonna come back at her house at that moment till like 10 o'clock or 11 because she had sent me a message. But I didn't quite look at it all deeply right there through it because I was more worried about my cat than anything else. But the last time that I checked, I saw that she said I'll be there at 10 or 11. That's all she said. And that's all I saw was the time. And so my parents, they came and got me because I told them I'm not feeling right. I need to know what's going on. So luckily I had, a few minutes, a few hours to be with my cat there and see what was going on.
Okay, and tell me a little bit about how you get to, so your parents are able to pick you up and they take you to the vet,
Right.
and what happens after?
And so what happens after is they tell me to sign a paper. So I sign a paper, and they tell me, "Are you here for Buster?" I tell them yes. They sit me down in a room, but I'm there for like an hour, almost to 45. And so I'm there just waiting, and I'm like freaking out because again, like they're not nobody's coming out of that door. No one's saying anything, and I'm there, and I have to go like 2 times and remind the front desk people if I'm gonna be seen, what's gonna happen because I gotta go back to work. And so finally, the lady comes and she tells me all the information about my cat, that they're gonna have to put some antibiotics, some medicine, they're gonna have to do all the process, etc. And so I was telling her because I was more, I like that she gave me all that information, but at the same time I was like worried and freaking out over the payment issue because also when you have pets, it's very expensive. So I wanted to see what I could do for my end and for my cat, but also I need to be stable in order to pay for those costs. And they went over with me with the costs, and they were just telling me, "Are you gonna, And so basically, they helped me, through all the process. But they helped me because they saw me that I was very upset. I was freaking out. It took 3 doctors to give me like water because I wasn't right, and they knew that I was freaking out, and they were like nervous. I could tell that they were nervous. They were scared to like even come and and approach me because they didn't know what to do with me. And luckily, there was one doctor that she was like bearing with me. She calmed me down. She gave me the water, but she told me, "You really have to relax. I want to help you and your cat in this situation, but you have to help me out, and you gotta stop crying, and you need to calm down because I can't help you. I want to help you, but if you don't want to be helped, how can I help you?" And I told her, "Yes, of course." And so she went over with me a lot of things, and she told me that she was finally gonna they were gonna help me, the facility, the hospital, they were going to help me with the cost, but I do have to pay a little bit of a portion out of my pocket. I still have to, still acknowledge that I have to pay something. And so I told them, well, $500 work. And they were able to say yes to that. And they were able to say yes. They were willing to help me on that.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you went there, you weren't being attended, so you were already worried and anxious, and you were more anxious when you got there because no one was telling you what's going on with your cat, and you were waiting for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You had to get back to work at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, and it doesn't seem like some doctors were able to help you and calm you down, but that finally someone was able to do that.